Attraction rarely operates like a neon sign in the middle of a dark street. Most men go through life waiting for a clear, verbal confirmation of their value, assuming that if no one is explicitly telling them they are attractive, then they must be average. But the reality of high-level social dynamics is far more subtle. High-value attraction is a quiet force that shifts the atmosphere of a room before a single word is spoken. It's found in the way people unconsciously adjust their physical proximity to you, the way conversations pause when you contribute, and the way women engage in micro behaviors that they aren't even consciously aware of themselves. If you are waiting for a woman to walk up and hand you a trophy for your presence, you are going to be waiting forever. Instead, you have to learn to read the energy of the environment. You have to understand that when your value is high, people don't always treat you with more warmth. Sometimes, they treat you with more caution. This is the paradox of the attractive man. He often feels more isolated or misunderstood because he doesn't realize that his very existence is putting pressure on the people around him. Today, we are going to strip away the confusion and look at the actual evidence of your social and physical value that you've been overlooking. We are moving past the surface level advice of looking for smiles or eye contact and diving deep into the psychological and biological shifts that occur when a man of high status enters the fray. By the end of this, you will no longer be guessing where you stand in the social hierarchy. You will have a clear, authoritative map of the signals that prove you are operating at a level most men only dream of. Sign number 1 involves a concept I call the environmental baseline shift. Every woman has a default state of being when she is in public. This is her neutral gear. She is focused on her phone, her friends, or her internal thoughts. In this state, her body language is closed or utilitarian. She isn't performing for anyone because she doesn't feel the need to. However, when a man she perceives as highly attractive enters her immediate vicinity, that neutral gear vanishes instantly. This isn't about her suddenly running over to flirt with you. It's about a physiological and psychological recalibration. You will notice that women in your presence suddenly become hyper-aware of their own existence. They will adjust their hair, even if it was already perfect. They will straighten their posture or shift the way they are sitting to appear more elegant. Watch for the preening reflex. This is an ancient biological drive to present the best version of oneself to a high-value mate. If you find that women are constantly fidgeting with their clothes, checking their reflection in windows as you pass, or suddenly becoming more animated in their conversation with their friends when you are near, they are reacting to your presence. They are trying to raise their own perceived value to match yours. Most men see this and think, oh, she's just busy, or she's just being high maintenance. No, she is responding to the pressure of your attractiveness. She feels the need to be on because your presence has raised the stakes of the environment. If the room feels more charged, or if people seem more self-conscious around you, it is a direct reflection of the value you are radiating. Moving into sign number 2, we look at the phenomenon of unearned authority and social deference. In a tribal setting, the highest value males didn't have to shout to be heard. Their presence commanded a natural space. In modern life, this manifests as people giving you the benefit of the doubt before you've even opened your mouth. Have you ever noticed that people tend to move out of your way in crowded hallways without you having to ask? Or that when you walk into a store, the staff is more attentive to you than the person who walked in 5 minutes prior? This is because human beings are hardwired to identify status through nonverbal cues like gait, facial symmetry, and shoulder-to-waist ratio. If you are a high-value man, your body is communicating a story of health, competence, and dominance. Consequently, the world treats you with a level of respect that other men have to fight for. This also shows up in how women interact with your opinions. If a woman who barely knows you is quick to agree with your suggestions or defers to your judgment on where to eat or what to do, she isn't just being nice. She is acknowledging your leadership potential. Attraction and the desire to be led are inextricably linked in female psychology. When she senses high value, she instinctively creates a vacuum for you to fill with your direction. If you find that people generally assume you are in charge, or if you rarely face the kind of petty disrespect that average men complain about, it's because your attractiveness has already done the heavy lifting for you. You are being granted a social fast pass because your visual and energetic profile signals that you are someone of importance. Sign number 3 is perhaps the most misunderstood: the creation of leading opportunities. A high-value woman who is attracted to you will almost never pursue you in a way that feels desperate. Instead, she will engage in proximity management. She will find reasons to be in your line of sight. She will linger in a conversation just a few seconds longer than necessary. She will ask a question that she already knows the answer to, simply to keep the interaction alive. These are the silver platters of social interaction. She is giving you the thread, waiting for you to pull it. I've seen so many men miss these signs because they are looking for a yes when they should be looking for a maybe. If a woman says something like, "I've always wanted to try that new place, but I haven't had the chance," she is not making a random statement about her culinary interests. She is opening a door and standing back to see if you have the confidence to walk through it. She wants to see if you can take the lead. If you fail to recognize these openings, she will eventually stop providing them, not because she lost interest, but because she assumes you lack the social intelligence to handle a high-value woman. Attraction at this level is a game of invitations. If you find that women are constantly mentioning their weekend plans, their favorite spots, or the fact that they are currently single in casual conversation, they are handing you the keys to the kingdom. They are making it as easy as possible for you to take the next step without them having to sacrifice their feminine role by doing the chasing. Now, let's talk about the fourth sign, which is the intersection of attraction and intimidation. This is where most men get discouraged. They assume that if a woman is attracted to them, she will be bubbly, warm, and easy to talk to. While that is true for some, many women, especially those who are highly attractive themselves, react to a high-value man by becoming slightly more guarded or cold. This is a defense mechanism. When a woman encounters a man who she perceives as being out of her league, or a man who has significant social power, she feels a sudden loss of control. She becomes hyper-aware that she could be rejected by him, and that fear of rejection causes her to put up a wall. She might avoid eye contact. She might give short, one-word answers. She might even seem slightly annoyed by your presence. Most men see this and think, "She hates me," and they walk away. But if you look closer, you will see the cracks in the armor. Is she still standing near you? Is she stealing glances when she thinks you aren't looking? Is her body pointed toward you even while her face is turned away? This is approach anxiety from the female perspective. She is intimidated by the gravity of your value. If you find that some women seem unusually shy or even slightly glitchy when they talk to you, tripping over their words or becoming unnaturally stiff, you aren't seeing a lack of interest. You are seeing a system overload. You are the high voltage wire, and she is trying not to get burned. The fact that you have the power to make a woman feel that level of self-consciousness is the ultimate proof of your attractiveness. Sign number 5 moves away from women and focuses on your peers. One of the most accurate barometers of a man's value is the way other men react to him. We are competitive animals by nature. When a man of high value enters a social circle, the other men in that circle will immediately register him as a threat to the local hierarchy. This shows up in two distinct ways: deference or overcompensation. You might notice that some men become unusually quiet when you speak, or they look to you for approval before making a joke or a decision. They are instinctively acknowledging your dominance. On the other side of the coin, you will encounter men who suddenly become loud or aggressive in your presence. They might try to interrupt you, make subtle jabs at your expense, or try to one-up every story you tell. This isn't because they think you are a loser. It's because they are terrified that you are the winner. They are trying to reassert their own crumbling status because your mere presence has highlighted their insecurities. If you find that you are often the target of random envy, or that men you barely know seem to have a strange competitive edge with you, take it as a massive compliment. No one tries to knock down a man who is at the bottom of the hill. They only throw stones at the man at the top. Your attractiveness is creating a ripple effect in the male social hierarchy, and the reactions you see from other men are the echoes of your own high status. Finally, sign number 6 is the ease of the outcome. When you are a high-value man, you don't have to grind as hard to get results. Think back to your interactions. Have you ever had a situation where you felt like you weren't even trying? Maybe you were tired, or you were just focused on something else. And yet, women seem to gravitate toward you anyway? This is because high value isn't a performance. It's a state of being. When you stop trying to get something from the world, your natural value is allowed to shine through without the filter of neediness. Neediness is the ultimate attraction killer. It's like a foul smell that ruins even the best-looking man. But when you are truly attractive, you operate from a place of abundance. You don't need the girl to like you, you don't need the boss to approve of you, and you don't need the room to look at you. And ironically, that detachment is exactly what makes everyone want to be near you. It's the cool factor. If you find that things often just work out for you socially, that you get invited to things without asking, that women follow up with you when you forget to text them, or that opportunities seem to fall into your lap, it's because you have reached a level of value where the world wants to keep you around. You are no longer chasing the bus. You are the destination. This effortless flow is the hallmark of a man who has mastered his internal and external reality. Understanding these 6 signs is about more than just boosting your ego. It's about recalibrating your entire worldview. Most men are walking through life with a blindfold on, missing the thousands of tiny signals that the world is sending them every day. They are stuck in a cycle of self-doubt because they are looking for the wrong kind of validation. They want a loud, obvious win to prove they are worthy, but high-value life is lived in the nuances. When you start to recognize that the cold woman is actually intimidated, that the aggressive man is actually envious, and that the random opportunities are actually invitations, you stop playing the game of chance and start playing the game of strategy. You begin to walk with a different kind of weight. You stop asking for permission to be the man you are, and you start demanding it through your silence and your presence. The most attractive thing a man can possess is the realization that he is already the prize. When you stop looking for signs that you are attractive and start noticing the signs that the world is reacting to your attractiveness, your confidence becomes unshakable. It shifts from being a fragile mask you put on every morning to being a solid foundation that you build your life upon. You are no longer reacting to the environment. The environment is reacting to you. That is the essence of high social value. That is the mark of a man who understands his power. So, the next time you walk into a room and feel that subtle shift in the air, don't question it. Don't look for a reason to doubt yourself. Lean into it. Recognize the preening, the deference, the intimidation, and the ease. These aren't accidents. They are the honest reflections of the man you have become. You are more attractive than you think, not because of some hidden secret, but because of the reality you are already creating. The only thing left for you to do is to start acting like it. The world has already given you the signals. Now, it's time for you to take the lead. This is the path to true social mastery. It starts with awareness and ends with the total integration of your value. No more guessing, no more second guessing. Just the calm, authoritative knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be, and the world is taking notice. If you felt this shift, if you've seen these signs, then you know. And once you know, you can never go back to being average. You are now playing a different game. The rules have changed. And for the first time, you are the one holding the cards. Keep your eyes open, stay grounded in your value, and never let the silence of the world convince you that you aren't the loudest presence in the room. You have the tools, you have the signs, and now you have the clarity. Go out there and move the world. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you and you're starting to see the world through a different lens, make sure you lock in that focus. Hit the subscribe button to stay aligned with the mindset of high value. Leave a comment below sharing a time you noticed one of these subtle signs. I want to hear about your experiences in the field. Don't forget to like the video if it provided the clarity you needed. We are building a community of men who lead with presence and understand their worth. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and I will see you in the next one.